Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, it's game week, and we welcome in Frangie, Hayes, Carline, and JJ LaSelva. Today, the new drug is Aruba.
Aruba, that's
Aruba.
Interesting.
My answer is Aruba.
That's where you're going for your Super Bowl vacation?
Take your 24-year-old girlfriend and her bell-bottom pants and go to Aruba. Let the offensive coordinator coach that. What are we doing, Belly?
You weren't impressed with that?
What, Belly, what are we doing? What are we doing? Go to Aruba? They have a beach there. You got all the money in the world. You got six rings.
Aruba,
Take the girl.
he can.
Yeah.
Nothing against Aruba, but
he can do better.
I'm gonna hope so. I mean, he could go wherever. He could have his own island.
I'm not a rich guy. Okay, Aruba's what I know. Okay,
Aruba's good.
You know what you know. Okay. Oh my! What in the what, Belly? What in the world?
That was really the sum of all fears. If you appreciate Bill Belichick, I was never a Patriots fan, but I certainly appreciated the genius of Bill Belichick. And while I certainly recognize Tom Brady is arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, and certainly most people believe he is, but I always thought that it was more 50-50 than lopsided. But the evidence really suggests that it was all Tom Brady.
And that was big time evidence last night.
It's incredible. I mean, they since their divorce, Tom Brady has won a Super Bowl, and Bill Belichick has been either mediocre or just flat out embarrassing since. And last night was really embarrassing. I mean, for TCU, who I don't think anybody believes is headed towards another run in the playoff. I mean, you get out rushed 258-50. TCU averaged 7.4 yards a carry. North Carolina averaged 1.8. And again, for a team that is being coached by, I mean, you would think the greatest coach, or certainly one of them that we've seen in the last 30 years, it's just sad. I mean, you've talked a lot about Willie Mays falling down, striking out.
Correct.
That's before my time, but this feels like
great comparison.
And it's a coach, it's not a player. But I can't really remember a player like embarrassing themselves on the way out the door that was an iconic player. But this is certainly an iconic coach that looks like, I mean, we've talked about their schedule's not hard, but I don't know that it will matter. I mean, will they beat Charlotte on Saturday?
And you said that's a really good comparison, because if you watch the post game, everybody joked he was going to say on to Charlotte, which he did. He looks so lost. He
should have gone into that press conference with one of those things that farmers have where it's a stick with a spike at the end of it for getting moles in the ground.
Right.
And he should have just walked into that press conference, popped every balloon that was there, said, "We're on to Charlotte," dropped it, and walked out of the room.
Unbelievable. So, hey, JJ, did you do anything over the weekend? What'd you do? Did you hang out at all?
Did you
go anywhere?
Got
did you stay here in town, or did you go anywhere?
My tent destroyed, and I was in like the worst weather ever imaginable before the game. But luckily, the game brought me happiness and joy.
You want to hear the bad news, JJ LaSelva?
Is there any?
From East Ocala. The bad news for Hayes and me. Miami might be pretty good. They might be pretty good.
Their defense certainly looks totally different than last year.
Miami might be pretty good. Miami might be pretty good, because I think Notre Dame's pretty good.
Yeah, I do too.
I think
CJ Carr's going to be great.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty good. Yeah, the Miami might be pretty good. All right, we got all kind of stuff to talk about. I had to start with Belly. Again, Aruba's my recommendation. Yeah. Because that's what I know. Okay.
Well, just something.
Yeah,
definitely leave the game of football.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, immediately.
There's so much to talk about today. It's game week. I can't wait for Jags and Panthers. I'm really excited about that. We got all week to talk about that. We will. But today's the day we'll talk some college football. Jeff Dancler joins us 5:15 for our first SEC report, brought to you by Underwood. There's a lot to talk about. The Gators played sort of a high school team, but you make no apologies, by the way, because over the weekend the Gators schedule got tougher. If you think about it. So we'll get to that coming up. But I'm going to start this thing with the dang Noles. No one's talking about the Noles. They're talking about Alabama. Everywhere you look, I don't care where you go, they're talking about Alabama. Now, I expected the Feinbaum show, because that's what he talks about. But I don't care if it's Scott Van Pelt, who I think is the best in the business. I don't care if it's the NFL. Everyone's talking about Alabama. Alabama collapsed. Alabama, They were soft. Alabama, they were getting DoorDash at 2 a.m. Alabama, Kalen DeBoer, Alabama. Well, we're 2.5 hours from Tallahassee. I'm a Florida guy, not a Florida State guy. But I will tip the cap to Mike Norvell. From the minute it all happened last year, I'll tell you what I think he did. I think he went to Mike Alford, his AD, and said, I need money. I need some dough because I'm getting rid of this crap. I'm firing my offensive coordinator. About the time I fire my defensive coordinator, I'm firing half my staff. Oh, by the way, I'm firing my players. And I'm going to go out there and get good players. And I'm going to go get – the more as I'm watching that and it was over, I said, he went and got a sitting head coach to come be his offensive coordinator. He went and got an 8-year defensive coordinator from Nebraska, which is a blue blood still, and got him to be his defensive coordinator. He went out and got more portal guys. And listen, the evidence tells us he's good at that. I mean, Braden Fisk and Jared Verse and Trey Benson and Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman, they didn't just randomly pop into Tallahassee. He went and got them. And Jordan Travis, they're all NFL guys. Jordan would be if he hadn't gotten hurt. And he led him to a 13-0 record. So it's proven. We just kind of forgot he could do that. And I'll even give him credit for this. We all, and I led the charge, bashed him about closing the practices. But now I'm thinking that quarterback counter, that fake check with me, that double reverse, that he didn't really want to see that. And maybe Alabama must have forgot that Malzahn calls that. Had they ever played against Malzahn before in the history of the program?
Didn't look like it. I mean,
it didn't, did it? So real tip of the cap to FSU. That was look. Alabama may be not as good as anyone thinks, but that cheapens FSU's win. If you talk a lot about that, that was a dang. But other than that first drive, buddy, that was a butt whooping. I looked it up. Of the 22 starters of FSU started in the game, 17 came in the portal. Do you realize that? 17 of the 22 came in the portal. Their offense, quarterbacks from Boston College. The two most prominent running backs were from Oklahoma and Indiana. The two starting wide receivers are from USC, Deuce Robinson, and Tennessee, Squirrel White. The offensive line, Vanderbilt, Wake Forest, Ole Miss, Florida, Harvard. So it's 5 guys, 3 from the SEC. And he went and said, listen, I'm going to get a bunch of money. I'm going to go get a bunch of 23-year-old guys. I'm going to go get a bunch of really good coaches. Does anyone know what he's paying Malzahn? I never even thought. I got thinking about that over the weekend. Is that ever public?
It is. I don't know what it is, though.
But I mean, he left. He walked away from a $12 million buyout if he got fired to take this job. So a tip of the cap to FSU. And I mean that very sincerely. Look, it's only one game. Who knows what's going to happen? But it certainly looks like he rebuilt it pretty quick after a disastrous, embarrassing 2024 season. Nothing shocked me over the weekend more than that game. I got all kind of games to get to. We're going to get to all of them. I'm going to get to Florida. I'm going to get to but that game surprised me, Hayes, more than that game might have surprised me as much as any I've watched along. It didn't surprise you. By the way, congratulations. What a great pick.
Thank you.
Did you have inside information? The
only inside information I had is I kept coming back to, I don't believe Kalen DeBoer is the guy.
Yeah.
And that started to
I'll give you credit.
Win out as the game got closer. It's like, well, if I don't think Kalen DeBoer is going to succeed, he's going to have to start losing some of these games.
Yeah. If you didn't hear Friday's show, Hayes with authority picked FSU. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm not joking about this, JJ. I almost thought it was a pity pick. He just beat our ass in late loser Monday, and he whipped us in the picks last year. And it was almost like he was spotting us. I thought he was spotting us the game.
The guy needs to start gambling.
Yeah. Well, hey, so JJ texted us.
Yeah, just ask Syracuse, who I also picked up. Tennessee.
but that's different. Picking this, JJ sent us a group text. The guy's got to start gambling. Well, if you do, I'm coming too. Okay.
He's on an absolute heater right now.
So congrats.
And I heard not a lot, but I heard people saying like, Matt Hayes, like, listen, Florida State's going to be in this game. I heard that leading up to the game, but honestly, I didn't hear any national people, local people, nobody outside of Hayes who actually picked Florida State to win that game.
So congrats to you. But I will tell you, Florida State, it doesn't look like. And again, I know it's only one game, but it doesn't look like they're down for long. It just doesn't look like they look like. I'm not saying they're great. That looked like a pretty damn good football team.
Well, they've got their edge back, which was apparent. I mean, they took the fight to Alabama, and yeah, Alabama is ripe for criticism. We know that. It certainly looks like the dynasty's over, and it looks like they've made a mistake with Kalen DeBoer. But regardless of the fight Alabama showed, which was little, Florida State still showed a ton of it. And that doesn't have a lot to do with your opponent. That's just how you've been wired by your staff. And so Florida State, has found that. They didn't have it at all last year. They often lost the street fight and on the scoreboard. And they dominated the scoreboard, but I thought dominated the fight even more against Alabama. There's things, I'll say this, the schedule is so light that it's hard to see this season for Florida State really getting derailed. I mean, you've really only got Miami, Clemson, and Florida remaining of teams, because if you look at the other teams that Florida State's going to face in the ACC, they're all perceived to be bottom half of the league teams. And so yeah, I mean, obviously to get this win, even if you go 0-3 in your final 3 big games, you're still 9-3, which, and look, I think that's probably the floor unless they really play poorly. There's some things I think from a predictability standpoint, there's some things they're going to have to work through as teams get more and more film on Castellanos. You're not going to often be able to win with your quarterback only attempting 14 passes.
Completed 9. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for week 1, it was a tremendous win. It certainly gets the buyout talk. I mean, that's totally put.
That's right.
Not just on the back burner. I mean, that's pretty much, you can throw that in the trash, because I don't see this season disintegrating into a 7-5, 6-6.
And I'll say one thing about the edge. The one thing I did say that I sounded like the biggest dummy in the room, because I'm the only one that said it. I felt like an idiot saying it, but I believed it. I was glad Castellanos called him out. I said that. I said at the time, I'm glad Castellanos said what he said about we're going to go beat him and they don't have Saban, because it showed him saying, look, we're FSU. We're going to play with that edge. And whether they got their ass beat or not, he was going to play with it, and it turned out to be prophetic. But a great win for FSU. We'll take a break. I'm going to talk about the Gators. I'm going to talk about Florida, Miami, and Notre Dame. We're going to talk about a weekend in college football. Jeff Dancler joins us at 5:15. He will join us to talk all about the SEC. It's our first SEC report of the year. We got all kind of fun stuff to do. We'll talk some Jags and Panthers as well. Glad you're with us on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
A great season often depends on keeping your best players on the field.
Let me know if he's ever going to play football again, or do I need to find me another wide receiver?
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update.
Jacksonville.
Come on, you can't play without me.
On 1010XL.
Frangie here. When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. They're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations and full air conditioning service, they do it all. And with Duck Duck, it's done right. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. If the Jags trust Duck Duck Rooter, so can you.
What does AM and PM stand for in terms of the clock?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
AM stands for anti-meridium, before midday. And PM stands for post-meridium, afternoon.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
One man, one hammer. One place to hear it drop. Hammer Time with Hayes, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL. Driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic.
Duval Fence is looking for the best in fence installers. Check out DuvalFence.com right now and fence in a great job opportunity. From estimates to installers, they're looking for you right now. Log on to DuvalFence.com for all the details. Equal opportunity employer.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I've been telling you about my daughter's journey with Awaken 180 as she tries to lose a little weight. In fact, last week you heard from Amber herself. Well, let me give you an update. She's been in it just a little over 2 months. Amber has lost 51 pounds. That's a real number. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it happen. She has lost 51 pounds. And here's why. Awaken 180 is not a diet. It's a lifestyle change that is sustainable, and she has figured that out. She loves the journey. She loves the new recipes. She loves that she fits into her old clothes and she sleeps better and has more energy, and it is really, really working. She's proud, and man, am I proud of her. If you want to start your transformation, you can do the same thing. Call 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com. My daughter's lost 50 pounds, and she's so excited about it. You can as well. 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
The Golf Club of Southampton has big plans for 2026, renewing the greens plus plenty more. But right now is the time to take advantage of member opportunities before the big renovation. Now until the end of September, you can join and save 50% off their initiation fee plus $500 back in a gift card with a 12-month commitment. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Playability for every skill level and a huge practice area to hone your game. Lock in now and enjoy membership privileges at the Golf Club of Southampton.
1010XL is your home for Florida Gators football. Protected by the law firm of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Follow every Gators game on 1010XL.
Storms are part of every season. Make sure you're protected. Call American Electrical to make sure you have the best in surge protection. Don't lose your home electronics to a lightning strike. Call 737-7770 for American Electrical.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
We thank our friends from Nimnick Chevrolet. That's on Cassett. Nimnick Buick GMC is on Phillips Highway. That's the best place to get cars, people you can trust. I've been buying my cars there since 1982. I trust them. I appreciate them showing me how to buy cars and continuing to sell me, treat me right. They treat you right after the sale. Just good folks. And I promise you, those Nimnicks were in Gainesville watching that game on Saturday night. That I can guarantee you. One more time, tip of the cap to the Knowles and to Mike Norvell, who went and was proactive, gutted his staff, gutted his team, brought in a new coordinator on offense, coordinator on defense, brought in new players, and it's going to be fun watching them as the season goes along. As for the Gators, 2 or 3 thoughts. I'm going to go first here. First of all, Hayes, that was like a scrimmage. And it wasn't even 1s versus 2s. It was like a scrimmage. It was 1s and 2s versus 3s and 4s. I mean, Long Island had 2 first downs. So you're playing a high school team. You're playing your walk-ons. That's what it was. But if I'm Florida, I make no apologies for that, because based on today's AP poll, of the 11 teams they have left, 8 are ranked. Did you realize that?
Yeah.
8 of the 8.
And South Florida, who they play on Saturday, is just barely outside of that.
And they probably should be ranked after the way they gutted Boise. Okay, so 8 of the 11 are ranked. So I'm making no apology. It's a really hard schedule. Looks even harder now because Miami's even better than I thought, and FSU looks like they're pretty good.
And LSU.
And LSU looks really good. So it's a really hard schedule, but we'll get to that. So 2 or 3 things. It's hard to analyze a team when you just saw them in a scrimmage. And it was a scrimmage. It was a scrimmage against walk-ons. But I'll tell you what jumped off the page for me. The number one thing is the backup quarterback.
Without a doubt.
That is first for me. I didn't think Harrison Bailey or Aiden Warner were going to ever be any good. And if they lost DJ Lagway, they were dead. Well, make no mistake. If they lose DJ Lagway, it's still a tough go. It's still a tough go. You're playing a true freshman. But I was really impressed with Tramel Jones. Shame on me, by the way. I've watched 8,000 hours of tape on this guy, Will Griffin, who's coming in next year. And I'm going to be very honest about this. I thought Tramel was just a throwaway. I thought he was a stopgap between Lagway and Griffin. I told you that. I mean, shame on me. He's the Jacksonville guy. I just never watched his tape because I watched the other 2 guys.
Well, he was missed most of his senior year,
and there was no senior tape to watch, right? But watching him first, I was surprised he went in. I figured one of the other guys were the backup. I didn't know. Watching him throw the football, he looks pretty throw in motion. He looks the part. Shane Matthews sent me a text afterwards, said he was overwhelmed. by Shane Matthews knows quarterbacking about as well as anybody does. And he was overwhelmed by how good he looked. So number one for me is the backup quarterback. I now feel like if they didn't have Lagway, it wouldn't be a disaster. Again, you're still not going anywhere if you lose your quarterback, but it wouldn't be the disaster I thought. I really was impressed with him, really impressed. Number two, this guy, VB3, might be their best receiver. We've heard a lot about Trey Wilson over the years. We've watched the great. He's been heard. We've watched the good. We've heard Dallas Wilson, the 5-star, that's got the big NFL body, and I'm sure he's great. J. Mike Sturdivant looks like he's ready to play. That's 3 or 4. But this Vernell Brown III, not just because of the catch. The catch was great. But the moves on the punt return, the moves on the wide receiver screen, that might be really special. So, the backup core. And again, they were playing a bunch of walk-ons. They were playing a high school team. We all know that. You can't change. You can only assess what you saw. But I think no matter who they're playing, just watching those two guys, those two stood out to me. The other thing is it does look like Florida's got dudes. Now, that you really can't tell till you play somebody. But it really does look like, starting with Jaden Baugh, who I'll bet's one of the best 5'6" running backs in the country, and it looks like they've got some dudes. So, again, you're playing a terrible team. You're playing a high school team. It's hard to tell. But Tramel Jones 1, Vernell Brown 2, and the collection of dudes leading with Jaden Baugh 3. Those are my 3 takes. That's what jumped off the page for me watching the Gators.
Yeah, I agree with all that. And I'll give DJ Lagway credit because he clearly was beyond rusty. Was definitely not himself the first couple of drives. And Napier chalked it up to Long Island schematically, did things they weren't expecting, which is a whole other story about Billy Napier, because it seems like too often in week one we didn't know they were going to do that. Well, isn't that sort of your job? But regardless, once they got the schematic things that Long Island was doing down, you really started to see Lagway kind of find his form, and it didn't feel like a 15 of 18 night. That was his final numbers. He completed 15 of 18 passes for 120 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and had a long run of 9. But what impressed me about Lagway in that is he got off to the slow start, but then his best passes were in the red zone, which normally is where your rust is going to come off last because it's just such a confining space. But I thought he threw some really good balls into the end zone on the 3 touchdowns. So it was good to see. It's a good thing Florida was not opening with a Utah or a Miami because he was not ready to play. But he was able to at least, I think, kind of find his form in that first half, particularly that second quarter, and then didn't play at all in the second half. But yeah, I mean, Baugh could have broken the school record for rushing yards on Saturday had Billy Napier wanted him to. Right. I mean, that was 9 carries for 104 yards and with just some unbelievable how he got out of the first touchdown. Yeah. He got out of it because it's Long Island. I get it. But still, I mean, you have 2 guys there that are playing college football. And Baugh just runs right through him. And defensively, particularly considering they didn't have Pup Howard, Caleb Banks, LJ McCray, you definitely saw a plethora of guys contributing to the defensive effort, and there were no mental breakdowns. You hold any team to 2 first downs and hold a team to, they had more penalty yards than they had total yards. It was hard to argue. I mean, and Florida got out healthy. So, we talked about it last week. Florida's got receivers that if they make the playoff, we will be sitting there in December saying it's these freshman receivers that made the difference. Now, I thought, and still do, that Dallas Wilson will end up being the guy. But Vernell Brown III was simply incredible. And really, for the first time, I'd say since Brandon James, knows that when you field a punt, if your first 3 steps are just purely straight ahead, good things will happen. And he showed great decisiveness. So Florida looks good.
Lagway, to me, and I watched him closely, he's rusty. And here, I figured this out. Lagway's got a more unique playing style. And again, when I make these comparisons, I'm not comparing them how good they'll be. I'm talking about playing style, okay? But in terms of playing style, Lagway's more Tebow and Tramel Jones is more Leak. Tramel Jones looks like a quarterback looks. He drops back. He holds the ball the way a quarterback does. His footwork looked the way a quarterback's footwork looks. The ball's always a tight spiral. It was very Chris Leak. I'm not saying Lagway's going to go run over people like Tebow did, but it's just a different playing style. Now, ball comes out fine. He's accurate. He's tough. He's a great leader. You can tell that just by his quotes afterwards. But to me, it's a different playing style. Tramel Jones to me is Leak. He's Shane. Neither of those guys are particularly athletic. Now, Tramel may be very athletic. He looked good on the one run. I don't know that. But he's slight of build like those two guys were. He's got that really beautiful football-like throwing motion. He looks like that to me, whereas Lagway just has a little bit of a different playing style. His footwork looks different. Not ineffective, so I think they're different that way. I still say what I've said all along, and we've all said, Lagway, Tebow looked different. He won the Heisman Trophy and 2 national titles. All right, so you can look different, but that I put my head around it, and that's what jumped off the page for me. So we'll see. Having said all that, my goodness, the schedule. USF looked really good. USF really looked. Now maybe Boise's down, but they were in the playoff last year. And Boise, there's not many years Boise isn't pretty damn good in that level. As group of 5 teams go, Boise's about as good as it gets most years. And USF gutted them. So USF's better than I thought they would be, better than anyone thought they would. FSU's obviously better. FSU, regardless of whether that holds or not, FSU, today's poll, they're 14th, and they deserve that. I thought Castellanos looked good. I thought the one guy, is it Dasby, the guy that scored the touchdown? He's the one. He's one of the few guys that impacted the game that signed with FSU, the track guy. This on the reverse. But I thought they looked good. I thought the running backs looked good. I really did. I thought so. They're better. That looks like to me, and JJ, you watch it way closer than I do. I would be surprised if that's not the best Miami team since the great one, since the 01 team. And JJ, I know that's
02 went to the national title.
Or 02. That stretch.
I don't know. 04, they were really good up until 05-ish.
Yeah, and you know better than I do.
They were stacked back then.
Yeah, you know better than I do. But
2017 was really good.
Yeah, but this team looks, and it's one game.
Yeah,
it looks complete to me. They got an NFL quarterback. The freshman receiver is fantastic.
Yes, Malachi Toney.
Fletcher is still a really good downhill between the tackles runner. The 2 defensive ends can really play. It looks like again, it's one game. I'm deciding a whole season on one game. We're all guilty of this, But I thought they really looked. So back to the point, USF's way better than I thought they'd be. FSU's way better than I thought they'd be. Miami is at least as good, if not better, than I thought they'd be. I thought Tennessee looked good. I know they're playing Syracuse, but I thought that quarterback fit right. I thought quarterback's better than the other guy was. I thought. Did you watch any of that game?
Yeah.
I thought he was bad. I thought Aguilar was
great.
I thought he was better than Nico would have been. LSU looked like they're back to being LSU. LSU looked like some people are calling them the best team in the country.
By the way, there's Georgia.
Oh, and do they play Georgia and Texas too? I hadn't even gotten to them. And they're on the road at A&M, and that quarterback's settled in now.
Right.
Okay? So
Texas is the only one on y'all's schedule who didn't look amazing.
That's correct. And they played the best team in the country.
Right. On the road.
Yeah. So the storyline, the really interesting storyline for this Gator season will be this clearly improved Florida team. They're ranked 13th. It's been a long time since and they belong there. This clearly improved Florida team on this collision course with this ridiculous schedule. And that's the storyline. If you want a thesis statement, if you want a storyline, this much improved Gator team, again, on a collision course with this ridiculous schedule. And where does it play out? That's the story of the Florida football season.
Spot the ball.
Yeah, that's right. And they better. And to that, and I'm glad you said that. If there's one worry I have, and I can't, I want you to help me get through this, okay? Will you help me? Will you be my guide, my counselor?
I'll do my best.
The wide receiver screens.
I can't help you on that.
He just, there still does, and it's one game, Florida, I know. There's just the play callers. Did you see the knack Malzahn had for calling those plays? He had a knack. Shannon Dawson had a knack, although I thought he got too conservative at the end, JJ. But I thought
Don't
he had.
Get me started on that.
But he had but up until then, he had.
And he's proven himself.
Yes, and Malzahn had a knack just watching, knowing when to call those reverses. And I'm watching our guy.
It's not there.
It bothers you too?
It bothers me because he's average at best.
I wanted it to be different. I wanted it.
He is the final frontier for Billy Napier at Florida. If he's able to make this decision, is he's got to hand it over to someone else. And that's the last thing keeping Billy Napier from doing whatever he wants to do in Gainesville.
Yes, Mike Norvell, who's a play caller, Mike Norvell said, "You know what? I'm giving it up. And oh, by the way, I'm going to go get a sitting head coach who has a national championship, and I'm going to go get him, and I'm going to give the offense to him, and I'm going to go handpick his quarterback." By the way, Malzahn tried to recruit Castellanos when he was at UCF. I'm going to hand it to him, and I'm going to go manage the program and recruit, and Billy won't do it. And if there's one difference between, so again, it's early, but that's the only thing that bothers me and concerns me. And obviously you felt it too.
This is what I would say. Florida needs, particularly now with the 9-game SEC model, and you're always going to be playing FSU at the end, and it looks like FSU is back. Florida needs to always open with a cupcake because he's not going to have them ready. I mean, I say that. They beat Utah in his first game as Florida coach, and one of the biggest flukes I've ever seen in the Swamp. Utah was far better that day. But, didn't get it done. To Florida's credit, they were able to steal the win. At Utah was a disaster. Home against Miami last year, disaster. And by the way, you saying I agree. I am apologizing for ripping Mike Norvell for keeping it quiet as well. I'm also going to apologize to Mario Cristobal because he's now the last 2 years had Miami ready to play,
really ready,
and an opener. Yeah. Which I don't think Billy Napier is capable of. So I think Billy Napier, once he kind of sees things and once he has you on film and can kind of see what you want to do, then I think his teams will get better as the year goes on. But my advice to Scott Strickland is see what Long Island is doing again next year. Because that's the kind of opponent you're going to have for these first couple of weeks because you don't have a head coach that's able to anticipate anything.
Is it a bad sign that the Gators were playing a team that I'm convinced would not have beaten Reigns, and I'm yelling, throw the ball down the field in the first half? Is that a bad sign? We'll take a break. There's other college games. You want to do a rewind?
Absolutely.
We're going to introduce to you our top 25 college football rewind. Hayes has it for you after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Lauren Brooks here. Tired of shaving and waxing? At Hello Smooth Med Spa, laser hair removal permanently reduces hair growth for smooth, stubble-free skin. It's life-changing. With over 400 5-star reviews, they're Jacksonville's trusted choice. Learn more at hellosmooth.com.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Now, the Hurricane Report. Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
The Miami Hurricanes came away with a huge victory in Week 1, 27-24 over the number 6 ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish. The Canes were led by true freshman Malachi Tony, who had 6 receptions for 82 yards and a touchdown in his first ever game. Next up for the Canes, Bethune-Cookman. The Hurricane Report brought to you by Performance Painting.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by November 6th.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and Lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Time now for the College Football Top 25 Rewind. Brought to you by the law firm of Woolsey Morecambe. Take the fear out of the fight. Here's Hayes Carline.
Holmes. Short side of the field, trying to get the pylon, and he does. Listen to this place roar.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. How about those Noles? FSU goes from unranked to 14th in the AP Top 25 after beating Alabama 31-17. I thought it might even be a little higher.
Did you go Joe Test on me on a Tuesday afternoon on the First Coast? Fantastic.
How would you love his outfit, by the way?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Here's what I'll take out.
I love that somebody shamed him into buttoning the top button.
Probably like a uppity up at ESPN, one of his bosses.
As I said,
ruining our good time.
Hey, as I said earlier, real tip of the cap to Mike Norvell having his team ready, gutting the team, gutting the staff, rebuilding it with all new players, all new coaches. And so my whole take at the top was that, as for Alabama, they better figure it out. He could get fired this year. I mean, it's not a joke. Caleb, if he doesn't turn it around and get the 9 wins, 8 at the minimum, I think he gets fired this year. Alabama, and it's nothing to cheapen FSU's win because it was a great win. But boy, Alabama did not look like the fight, the toughness. And look, I think they got a problem at quarterback. He's got a big arm, but I thought he missed a bunch of throws. I thought he passed when he should have run a couple times. They got work to do, no question.
Yeah, the Tide fell from the 8th spot all the way down to number 21. So the voters heavily penalized Alabama for the loss. Let's get it, JJ, to Miami.
Under pressure, off his back foot, up for grabs, and caught! C.J. Daniels, a tremendous one-handed catch.
What an amazing touchdown catch that was. Miami climbs to 5th, rising 5 spots after taking down Notre Dame 27-24.
That was a ball Carson shouldn't have thrown. That was one that was off his back foot. The safety had a beat on it, and the receiver took it away from the safety with that great one-handed catch. I said this at the top, Hayes. I think Miami now has the most complete team that I can remember them having in a long time. They've had 2 10-win seasons since 2003. Okay, so it's been a tough go. Even those 2 teams, in my opinion, didn't appear as complete. This team looks very complete.
The Fighting Irish weren't dinged too hard by voters,
they're good.
falling just 3 spots to number 9.
Yeah, and Notre Dame's got a good team. Now, by the way, that guy's a good coach. They always look well coached. They make very few obvious mistakes. The quarterback, the freshman's going to be very good. Notre Dame isn't going anywhere, I can promise you.
Hey, the number 1 and number 2 teams played this Saturday. Let's hear a clip from that game.
Looks like they're going to do the tush push, and they don't get in. Ohio State does it again. Nebraska, Penn State last year. And right now, Texas.
Ohio State is the new number 1 in the country. The defending champs take down previously top-ranked Texas 14-7.
Did you give me Joe Tess and Gus in the same like segment?
That's right.
Great stuff. I'll say this. Everybody's burying Arch. Arch was terrible. Arch wasn't ready. There was way too much attention to Arch Manning. We all agree with that. He hadn't played very much. But if you're going to judge him, don't entirely judge him on playing maybe the best program in America on the road in one of the toughest venues in America. If you want to, we gave him the Heisman too early, okay? We've now stolen his scholarship too early. It's probably somewhere in between. If you're going to judge Arch Manning, give him 3-4 games before you decide. I thought those two teams were really, really good. Two tough, hard-nosed physical teams, and they're going to be around in the end.
I also thought some of Sark's play calling in the red zone was like,
what are you doing?
I
agree.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, they were pathetic on fourth down throughout the entire game. By the way, the Longhorns dropped 6 spots to number 7. We will conclude our rewind. What a weekend of college football as we go to Clemson.
They do bring pressure. Public on the move. Heaves it incomplete. Harold Perkins was closing in. They rolled the dice, and the Tigers do get that stop, and they're going to end this losing streak to open seasons.
LSU 17-10 road win at Clemson earned the team a 6-spot boost to number 3 in the country.
Yeah, LSU's really good, and you're really good when you've got a really good returning quarterback and you've got dudes. It'll be very interesting. Now, listen, they got to get by. They got to play Florida. They got to play Alabama. They got to play a lot of good teams, but they've got a good football team. LSU is good as advertised. It's going to be a fun season in college football, no question about it.
Without a doubt, and Clemson wasn't penalized too hard, even though they lost at home. The voters have Clemson at number 8, so down 4 spots, and that's going to wrap up this edition of the College Football Rewind.
Thanks to our friends at Woolsey Morecambe, a terrific law firm. We appreciate Josh and all our folks at Woolsey Morecambe. If you need a hand, give Woolsey Morecambe a call today. Right back to Hayes Cardline. Headlines are after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Follow the Florida Gators on 1010XL.
Gators!
The Gators hook horns with the South Florida Bulls. Kickoff at 4 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010XL.
How do you know that your roof is ready for the next big storm? You don't. That's why you need to call me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We'll assess your roof and fix those issues before they become storm disasters. Visit BrandonRoofing.com today to schedule your free roofing quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
You've waited patiently, and the wait is almost over. NFL football is back.
That's awesome.
Kickoff week on 1010XL is built by KO Electric, Heating and Air, and Roland Reach Plumbing.
Let the games begin.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnik's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnikChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnik has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, we do it all. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Frank Frangie telling you about Awaken 180. You know, my daughter has done so well. I'm so proud of Amber. Can you believe she's lost 50 pounds in 2 months? And she's really proud of that. You can as well. Call 844-346-1800 or awaken180weightloss.com.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Lauren Brooks here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they are opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business that they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hidden Hills Golf Club on Monument Road has a little bit of something for everyone. So whether you want to practice, play, or just relax with friends at the Hills Grill, Hidden Hills is the place for you. Check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood Jewelers. Clayton, you spend a lot of time talking about diamonds, but what about some of the colored stones we see?
Frank, when you talk about colored stones, there are literally hundreds of varieties and species in the gem kingdom. As certified gemologists, we're trained gemologically on the identification of each of these and can separate the man-made synthetics and imitations from the real thing. But at Underwoods, we can go to the next step. At Underwoods, we're active buyers of loose colored stones in the world markets, so we have an understanding of the values of colored stones as they relate back to the various qualities. In fact, just like diamonds, we buy most of our colored stones loose, then create the pieces of jewelry to hold the gems. You can be assured not only of the authenticity and quality of our colored stone jewelry, but also of the value. So if you're in the market for a fine quality emerald, sapphire, ruby, aquamarine, amethyst, citrine, tourmaline, peridot, or any other gemstone, come by and see us at Underwoods.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Give our friends at Harrell and Harrell a call at 251-1111. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you get hurt, that is who you need to put your trust into. Frank, Jaguars game week is here.
When? What week?
This week.
No, it's not.
It's arrived.
You're
You've
lying
made it.
again. How about
Are you
that?
ready?
You know what? Not only am I ready.
You're going to call a lot of touchdowns on Sunday.
Touchdown Jacksonville. Hey,
for
listen.
the Jaguars.
Okay, good. I was telling Steve Griffin, our boss, earlier. I'm probably as excited. I'm always excited. I'm always positive. I always think we're going to win a bunch of games. You know, I know I'm that guy. But the intrigue and excitement is different this year than it's been maybe my 12 years of doing it, because they're all pulling in the same direction. One of my really good friends is the executive vice president. I've gotten to know both James and Liam, and I really like them. I think I think there's a palpable level of belief in what they're doing. Who knows how good they're going to be? We don't know that till they play, Hayes. But I'm given all the activity of the offseason, that it now finally comes to fruition. I'm very, very, very excited about Sunday afternoon at Everbank Stadium. I mean that very sincerely. I'm very, very excited that it's finally here. The draft, Tony's in, Liam's in, Gladstone's in. They trade up for Travis Hunter, mini camp and OTAs and camp and this and preseason. It's finally football season after all this activity, and I can't wait. I mean that very sincerely.
Absolutely. The Jaguars had a good day of work yesterday. Liam Cohen met with reporters after practice and talked about his familiarity with the Carolina Panthers from his days last season as Tampa Bay's offensive coordinator.
Yeah, we definitely go back and look, and because I don't think the overall structure will change. I do believe that we will see some unscouted looks for sure, whether it's a personnel grouping, whether it's a blitz or a coverage or something along those lines. I don't think they've probably altered their entire structure. So yeah, you definitely go back and look at what was successful, twice last year playing those guys, and what fits what we've done well up until this point, that we can kind of use those schemes or concepts to our advantage. But they've definitely added some players, via pro free agency and in the NFL, in the draft as well. So you're just curious to see how they're maybe going to utilize those players if that impacts and affects their defensive structure at all.
I think one of the most interesting and fun things about this season is going to be the Liam Cohen chess match. We know what a smart guy he is. We know against whom he has coached. Now, how will he do it all as a head coach? And can he unlock some things in Trevor Lawrence that he unlocked in Baker Mayfield? I can't wait to watch.
The Jaguars have announced their captains for the season: Trevor Lawrence, Robert Hainsey, the center, Josh Hines-Allen, Foye Oluokun, Jordan Lewis, and Logan Cook.
Yeah, I would if you would ask me to guess, we'd have gotten pretty close. I'd have figured it's someone on the offensive line. I'm glad it's the center. I would have. Jordan Lewis has had such a good camp. Not surprised by him, and the rest of them are pretty obvious. So right guys to lead.
The Jaguars are off today. That will be standard throughout the regular season. Tuesday is an off day for the players. The Jaguars are a 3.5-point favorite in Sunday's game.
Yeah, they should win the game. They probably have a better team. You never know what someone's going to be like when a season starts because everybody makes a lot of changes in the offseason. But Hayes, they probably have a better team. They probably have the better of the two teams, and I'm really looking forward to watching. I can't wait. I mean, Saturday night will be a hard night to sleep. It'll be. It really will be. I can't wait. I really can't.
Particularly if South Florida beats the Gators.
Then it'll be really hard. That'll be hard. Yeah.
Let's get it to the Carolina Panthers. They place receiver Jalen Coker on IR short term, but obviously he'll miss this game. He's a promising second-year player for them at that position, so that's certainly a loss. They added Hunter Renfrow back to the roster. Also, left tackle Ikem Ekwonu had an emergency appendectomy. They are listing him as questionable. He was taken 6th overall in the 2022 draft and has 49 starts at left tackle, so certainly something to watch. I can't imagine him being able to play a week after having appendectomy. I mean, that seems like. I mean, obviously it depends on the severity, but to have to block Josh Hines-Allen or Trayvon Walker.
And again, you don't mind it as much when it's your upcoming opponent, but nothing stings you worse if you're that team than late camp injuries. If you're gonna have a camp injury, have it in July, right? Carolina's got some issues, and probably will have some issues on Sunday afternoon.
Let's get to college football. FSU makes a huge statement, whipping Alabama 31-17.
Yeah, I will tell you, that was the most surprising game, not only this year, but of recent years for me, how fast FSU played. How into it that Doak Campbell crowd was, which had nothing to cheer for all of last year. How ready they were to play. Gus Malzahn had Alabama off balance with his play calling the whole time. They played fast. They were physical. And the crowd was into it. Boy, that was a great win if you're a Florida State fan.
Without a doubt. Who could have seen that coming, JJ? Chief Osceola is going to plant the spear. And then the Noles are going to shock the world.
Oh, my.
Florida State takes down Bama in Doak Campbell Stadium. The Noles pull off the shocker and beat Bama.
I got to ask, did you send him an email that said, please play that?
I did.
Okay,
Of course I did. What do you think? Absolutely. I choreographed the whole victory. Every step of the victory lap has been choreographed.
I'm tweeting out that email, okay, when I've got my intel, but well done.
But I don't care if he didn't. I would have played that sucker today.
Well done. No question.
The Canes survive a late Notre Dame charge to win 27-24.
I think those are both really good teams. I think that's two top 10 teams. It's old school football too, Hayes. They were physical. They ran downhill. Both quarterbacks look like NFL types. Obviously, Carr's a freshman. It was a wonderful game to watch. The best games to watch sometimes when you don't care who wins. You don't have a dog in the fight. I mean, I know we pick teams, but as far as it was a good football game, and credit to the Canes. The Canes are good. I think the Canes have last year they were dramatic and charismatic because that's how Cam Ward played. And then as the season wore on, you knew they weren't very good on defense, and he was going to have to outscore people. Boy, they look complete to me. Again, it's only one game. I know that, but I was impressed.
The Gators defense dominates lowly Long Island 55-0. The Sharks were held to 2 first downs with more penalty yards than total yards, and Florida probably has found a not just reliable, but potentially great backup quarterback and freshman Tramel Jones from Mandarin, as well as another emerging star and true freshman receiver, Vernell Brown III.
Those were the two storylines for me. Tramel Jones and Vernell Brown III looked like really good players. Look, I think Florida's got dudes, more dudes than they've had in a long time. It's hard to judge on this game. That was the equivalent of a high school team, if that. It was more like a scrimmage. But you can only assess the games you watch. We watched that one. And again, now the gauntlet starts, Hayes. One of the most difficult schedules I can remember in my lifetime. When you feel like your non-conference games are USF, Miami, and FSU. That's your non-conference games, and you're playing in the best conference in America. They have 11 games left. 8 of the teams they play, 8 of the 11 are ranked. 4 are ranked in the top 10. It's a brutal. The improved Gators versus that incredible schedule is a great storyline.
Let's get into Georgia. The Dogs pummel Marshall 45-7. Gunnar Stockton throws for 190 yards and 2 touchdowns and runs for 73 yards and 2 more scores. The Thundering Herd, champions of their conference last year, had 74 new players on their roster. Welcome to college football.
Wow, 74. Yeah, Jeff Dancler, by the way, will be doing our SEC reports, my buddy from Athens, Georgia, and the Bulldog Radio Network. So we'll generally start those reports with Georgia football because we don't have a Georgia report. But then Jeff and I will talk all about the SEC. But yeah, listen, I said at the top, you did too, top of the season. I'll believe Georgia's no good anymore when I see that Georgia's no good anymore. I think the Bulldogs are still loaded. I think they've got as much talent, if not more, than anybody in the country. They're a perennial top 5 team, and they belong there.
Ohio State holds off Texas and Treon Manning 14-7.
Well played. I'll say this about Manning. Art, there was too much attention given Arch way too much before he had ever played. Now there's too many people killing him because he played on the road in one of the toughest venues in the country against maybe the best program going. So I think the jury's still out. My guess is Arch Manning will be a good player, maybe not the greatest player of all time, but it's too early to judge him in my mind.
Yeah, it's too early, but he was terrible in that game, so he's got to make lots of improvement. We will get you out on today's musical nugget of the day. Today we honor Jimmy Buffett, who died 2 years ago at the age of 76. Buffett sold over 20 million records worldwide. He was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last year. This is Cheeseburger in Paradise.
I told you this when we lost Jimmy Buffett. That one stunned me and rocked me because I just wasn't ready for the world without Jimmy Buffett. I'm not a parrot head. He's not a top 5, 8 act for me, but he's freaking Jimmy Buffett, and I just wasn't ready for a world of music without Jimmy Buffett. So we'll miss him and miss him ever since. Well done as always. Jeff Dancler waits at 5:15, but in the meantime, we'll come back and talk a little NFL and more. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
A great season often depends on keeping your best players on the field.
Let me know if he's ever going to play football again, or do I need to find me another wide receiver?
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update.
Jacksonville.
Come on, you can't play without me.
On 1010XL.
Welcome to the bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Ron McCann in Orange Park at 904-269-1313.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is now available at the Fresh Market Spirits and Wine. The Fresh Market Spirits and Wine is a new adult beverage store offering spirits, wine, beer, and accessories at A1A North in Ponte Vedra, a first-of-its-kind destination for thoughtfully curated spirits, wine, and beer as only the Fresh Market can. And now, you can get Brackish Vodka at the Fresh Market. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Resto Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Resto Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestoProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestoProsNEFlorida.com.
Resto Pros! With Lee and Kate's glass, you're gonna see a big difference. For 100 years, service you can trust. Lee and Kate's glass, depend on us. Glass solutions to meet your needs. Reliable quality guaranteed. Complete customer satisfaction. With Lee and Kate's glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. The Jaguars have announced their team captains ahead of the 2025 season. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence, defensive end Josh Hines-Allen, cornerback Jordan Lewis, linebacker Foye Oluokun, offensive lineman Robert Hainsey, and punter Logan Cook. Florida State shot up to number 14 in this week's AP poll, while Florida jumped up 2 spots to move to number 13. It's 81 degrees at 5:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
We're about 5 days away. Hayes Carline, who hails from the Bowl School. This is a gigantic season opener for the Jaguars. I mean, it is a gigantic, it truly is a gigantic season opener for Jacksonville for so many reasons. Doesn't mean if they lose, the world comes to an end. But it's the first one with Tony Boselli as the executive vice president. It's the first one with James Gladstone having built the roster. The first one, obviously, for Liam Cohen. It's year 5, game 1 of year 5 for Trevor Lawrence, a year that he wants to have the big year, and I believe he's going to. On all those fronts, it's a gigantic, gigantic game, and it's against a team that came into the league when you did, a team that is had some of the similar challenges over the years that you have, and a game you're expected to win. If you add all that up, if you put all that into the stew and stir it, man, you've got a big one coming up on Sunday.
Without a doubt. And I've got some numbers for you that are going to make you feel very confident, I think, if you're a Jaguars fan, in terms of Liam Cohen's performance last season as the Tampa Bay OC against Carolina. Their first meeting was in Week 13 in Carolina. The Bucs won 26-23. Baker Mayfield didn't have a great day. 1 touchdown, 2 picks, a passer rating of 69.6. But the Bucs ran for 236 yards in the game and had 445 total yards. Flash forward to Week 17, the game in Tampa. 48-14 Bucs. Baker Mayfield throws for 5 touchdowns.
Wow.
They have 551 yards of total offense, 202 on the ground. This was the other thing that popped to me in terms of Liam Cohen being able to figure out what went wrong in a first meeting, even though they won the game, and apply it to the second. In the first meeting that Tampa won, 26-23, Tampa Bay was 2 of 12 that day on third down. In the second game, they were 10 of 14. So Liam Cohen knows how to embarrass this defense. And yes, things have changed somewhat, but they did use their first-round pick on Tedero McMillan on the offensive side. So there hasn't been – it's not like Carolina's added first-round picks and big-time free agents. Liam Cohen knows how to dissect the Carolina Panthers, and I fully expect he's going to be able to do it again this time around on Sunday.
Yeah, it'll be, again, one of the reasons it's a big deal and a big game, an important game, because their expectations, particularly in this game. Again, if you add up everything, look, if you win this game and then lose at Cincinnati, I saw a power poll the other day that Cincinnati 4th or 5th. I don't know who it was. It ESPN's, maybe somebody's. So if you win this game and turn around and lose next week at Cincinnati, the world doesn't come to an end. It's almost quasi-expected or if not expected, accepted. Unfortunately, this one, that's not how they'll be. So this is, you win this game and lose next week, nobody says anything negative. You win this game and win next week, people think you're going to get on a run. You lose this game, there will be some same old Jaguars belief. That's why this game is important. So, I'm confident too. I like what they've got. The biggest question I've had all along, and I told you this, I've said it many times, I don't think I'm alone. The biggest question I've had, I think most of us have had all along, is running back, is defensive tackle. So if defensive tackle is a concern, running back, I'm watching the running back situation. It's, by the way, ETN versus ETN in this game. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle. That's not exactly O.J. Simpson and Emmitt Smith. But
Hubbard had a really nice year last year.
And he did.
Kind of out of the blue.
And he's a decent player. He was a decent player at Oklahoma State. He's a good little player. So what you don't want to do is get run on. I think the biggest thing you have to make sure doesn't happen is you don't get run on in this game. I think that's significant.
Without a doubt. And, and again, this Bryce Young seemed to find some form late last season. They have invested in his weapons, similar to what the Jaguars have done with Trevor Lawrence. They have Xavier Legette, who was a first-round pick 2 years ago, and they have Tet McMillan, first-round pick this year. So 2 first-round receivers. But it feels like if they run on the Jaguars will have big problems all year. It doesn't feel like that Carolina should be able to really dictate on the ground. If they're able to do that, I think that would be a really bad sign going forward. But I get back to, I think the defense is going to have some slack in this game because unless there's just the week 1 hiccups, rust, whatever you want to call it. Again, Liam Cohen put up dominating numbers on this franchise last year. Now, he was the OC, but he's still calling the plays. So that's the same element. And to run for 236 yards in the first meeting, and then in the second meeting, have your quarterback throw for 5 touchdowns and no picks. He clearly knows how to take apart the Carolina Panthers. And I expect the Jaguar offense to really play well. And again, it goes beyond just Liam's 2 good games last year as Tampa's OC. Carolina gave up 31.4 points a game last year. Scoring defense, they were worst in the league. They were worst in the league by 4 full points. So they're miserable on defense. That's not going to change. They made the ceiling for the Carolina Panthers this year is to be like 26th in the NFL in every category because they just didn't. It's 2 guys. It's Derek Brown and J.C. Horn. They have 1 good defensive lineman and they have 1 good corner. And everything else on the defensive side, 8 of their starters are either free agents or guys they've acquired in a trade. There's not a lot of homegrown, developed, drafted talent on that side of the ball, which usually in this league means you're going to really struggle.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Jags and Panthers, we'll talk about it throughout the course of the week. And then the lid lifter, here at Everbank Stadium. Let's take a break. When we come back, Jeff Dancler joins us for the first time this year. Our SEC report brought to you by Underwoods. It'll start with the Bulldogs. Jeff covers them awfully closely, but we'll go around the league. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Putting the fence in defense.
The ball comes out! The ball has come out!
Each week, Superior Fence and Rail presents the Defensive Player of the Game on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Carline here to let you know about my new tailgate obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. If you love eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching football, you'll love the new Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are game changers, as delicious as a homemade dip made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You've got to try them. Once you do, you'll be hooked. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip at your grocery store.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
The Friday Night Lights are shining even brighter as 1010XL has partnered with Channel 4 to bring you Friday Night Lights, a live streaming show at 7 o'clock every Friday, presented by Farrah and Farrah on the social media channels of 1010XL and Channel 4.
Frank Frangie here for Coyle & Sons Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports memories. Remember Morton Anderson missing a chip shot field goal that launched the Jags into the playoffs in 1996? You know who doesn't miss? Coyle & Sons Fencing. If you're in the market for a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle & Sons today at 904-356-4821. That's 904-356-4821. Or visit CoyleJacks.com. That's C-O-Y-L-E Jacks.com. Coyle & Sons, keeping your business and home safe for nearly a century.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and Triumph has branched off from on-road to off-road. Give us the latest on what they've got.
They've got the 250 and the 450. Rick Carmichael designed these bikes himself, and they are bad to the bone.
So you're talking about a really cool effect from a bike off-road that Triumph had on-road forever.
It is, and it's out there winning races, and it is fun to ride.
Check it out, Cycles of Jacksonville, their showroom on Atlantic near Regency, or online on their Facebook page.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
This right here, this is where it starts. With a little flame and a lot of love. When the air cools or the night falls, fire brings the warmth. But it's what we bring to the table that matters. Slow smoked barbecue. Stories that stretch long. Laughter that lingers. And moments that just feel full. That's why it's always Sonny's here.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for coming over so quick.
Sure thing, pal. What's the big...
Whoa! See, I told you there was a smell.
Yeah, it smells like...
Exactly, or a dead one more like it.
You need some fresh air in here.
Well, this is the problem, Jason. I've kept everything sealed up tight all summer long so I don't lose all my nice cool air. Now all the dog smells and cooking smells and home gymnasium man cave smells are all building up and I can barely...
Dude, where are the Bueller sunglasses I gave you?
Oh, I don't know. They must be in my other...
Put on my emergency pair. Whoa. Bueller Air and Plumbing can install an air purification add-on to your existing air conditioner. Clean the air of dust and pollen and funky smells while you cool.
So I can keep all the cool air I saved up?
And your place won't smell like a dead...
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Time now for the SEC Update with Jeff Dancler from the Bulldog Radio Network and the Superstations. Presented by Underwood Jewelers. Here's Frank and Jeff.
All right. Glad to have my friend Jeff Dancler with us every Tuesday talking SEC football, Georgia football. Jeff lives in Athens, but he's the mayor of St. Simons. You need to know that. Jeff joins me on Tuesday. Jeff, how are you, brother? Good to talk to you.
Well, listen, I just heard the theme song to Coach and the great Hayden Fox bringing us in. I couldn't be more fired up. That brings back some great memories of the Screaming Eagles.
I'm glad it does, and yes, it does. All right, Jeff, we're going to go all through the league, but I'm always going to start this with Georgia because you know them up close and personal. It's hard to tell. Obviously, they played a way better team than Florida did, but still Marshall's Marshall. I still have said all along, I think Georgia's got more dudes than anybody. What did you think of Gunnar Stockton? What did you think of the team overall? What did you take away from the game?
I thought Georgia played well. It was a difficult spot for Marshall. Frank, they've got 60 new players on their team, and that's going to be tough anyways. But it's not, as you know, like they all arrived at the same day. Like, let's say if it was the old days and you had signing day, or maybe they all came in the spring or all came together for the NFL when everybody comes together after the draft. They're all coming at different times. This was not a typical Marshall team, but I thought Georgia's defense was great. I thought the special teams was great, and saw some really good things out of the offense as well. But listen, Georgia fans love Gunnar Stockton. This is a blue jeans and pickup truck guy, which is just what the doctor ordered. And to throw something else in there, the backup quarterback, Ryan Puglisi, he looked good as well. Biggest question for the Dogs is going to be that offensive line.
Jeff, is this going to be Gunner's team? Kirby said at the beginning of the year that Ryan Puglisi would be in that thing and there was going to be a competition, but you know this program better than anybody. Is this Gunner's team come hell or high water here?
He is, without a doubt, the guy at quarterback. I think Puglisi's actually got a quicker release when it comes to throwing the ball, but as far as the total package there, no doubt, Gunnar Stockton is Georgia's quarterback, and I think the Dogs should be able to lean on the defense and lean on that kicking game while the offense progresses.
The team I thought that was most impressive in the league was probably LSU. Boy, LSU was good against Clemson. Well, what'd you make? Did you like LSU in that game? What'd you make from that game?
Oh, yeah, I've got LSU in my Bulldog Illustrated magazine. I've got them number one.
Okay.
I thought going into the year I'd probably go for just raw talent. I thought LSU won and Georgia and Texas kind of fighting for two. Georgia might have the deepest roster, but LSU, just to have Nussmeier back, and we all know, Frank, LSU's always got guys, and they really got some impact players in the portal. I thought they were the team of the week to go into Clemson and win. And the way they did it, that defense was really good. I think LSU's got a chance to have a very, very special season.
See, I love Nussmeier, and I said that before, and not just because Arch Manning struggled, and we'll get to that game in a minute, but I think Nussmeier is the least talked about really good quarterback out there. I think he's a top 10 pick in our league, Jeff. I think Garrett Nussmeier is a really, really good player that doesn't get as much attention as I think he should.
100% correct. So in the 2022 SEC championship game, Georgia beat LSU, and Jaden Daniels, that was the year before his Heisman, was the starting quarterback for the Tigers. He got injured. Dogs are cruising. Nussmeier came in. He throws for like 250 in the second half and was just terrific. And you're looking at LSU thinking, wow, they got two guys. And now that it is Nussmeier's team, the other thing, Frank, is we know what that win does. It gives them margin for error. It's like when Georgia beat Clemson in 21 or Oregon in 22, when Bama opened that season beating USC 52-6. It gets you that margin for error, and especially now when basically all you have to do is go 10-2, and let's call it like it is. The three top 10 versus top 10 showdowns, those three winners are early front runners for getting one of those 4 coveted byes when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Let's get to Texas, Ohio State. I said this earlier in the program. Look, we made way too much of Arch Manning this year. He hadn't even played. Anyone handed him the Heisman. I get that. But I think people are burying him too much now. He played the best team in the country, perhaps. Played in a really hard place. I've done 5 or 6 games at Ohio Stadium. It's a hard place to play. And I'm not ready to bury him yet. I thought that's 2 really good teams when Texas and Ohio State played, a low-scoring game. What'd you take from it?
I agree with you 100%. So I think it's one swing too far one way, and then the pendulum shoots too far back the other way. So I think maybe for Texas and for Arch Manning, that's going to be a good thing. There was so much pressure put on him, and I don't think any of it was from Arch. But the big picture, too, and Frank, it's Bobby Hill said one time on King of the Hill, my math's just called math. But I do know this. You got 3 games involving 6 top 10 teams. You're going to have 3 teams that lose those games.
Right.
Now, I think I would prefer to play in a game like that because I think you know a lot more about your team. And so I think for Miami, for Clemson, for Texas, it's just one of those, let's pump the brakes a little bit. I think the schedule's still set up for all of them to go 10-2 or better. I wouldn't be surprised, Frank, if Clemson wound up going 11-1. But those matchups were great, and I think it's terrific that all 3 of those games were decided by 7 or fewer points.
Jeff Dancler with us talking SEC football. All right, how about a top 10 team that wasn't so good? Alabama got kind of rolled. They got rolled by FSU. We talked a lot about FSU around here. For this part of the conversation, let's talk about Alabama. What's wrong, Jeff? Is he the wrong guy? Did he not have him ready? You've watched more Alabama football than anybody over all these years. What was wrong? What was wrong with Alabama?
Yeah, I've watched a lot of Alabama football, and I got one game that's my favorite. That was from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah.
And obviously, the bar set so high for Alabama. I think this is one of those 2 where let's just pump the brakes. You don't know. Florida State might be really good. Last year, when Castellanos just really ate them up when he was playing for Boston College, I'm thinking this guy's a terrific quarterback. But Florida State dominated that game. To me, where Alabama's biggest concerns are right now are on the line of scrimmage, particularly the offensive line, which was always such an enormous strength under Nick Saban's watch. We'll see how good Ty Simpson is, but that was Jalen Milroe's team last year. Are they a little bit too reliant on some trickeration? I know that they were down a back there, but then also for that defense to give up 31 points, it's a lot of let's get back to the drawing board. And for Kalen DeBoer, he is obviously a very good coach. The guy led Washington to a national title game and had tremendous success before that. But back to your point, so much of it is the fit. And when you're not winning big, when you're replacing the greatest coach of the 21st century so far, I think my man Kirby's gated on him, but I'm a little bit biased. But
right.
It's going to be hard to do that. But when fans, and I've been there, Frank, you've been there, when fans start chirping about things like, why is he wearing a T-shirt on the sidelines and not a golf shirt? Why is he wearing a hoodie? Stuff like that, it might seem insignificant, but it does matter, especially when you're not winning big. And I don't know what happened, and I know, Frank, you watched it, and it was a tough loss for the Dogs last year over in Tuscaloosa, but something happened after that 41-34 game.
Yeah.
And remember, Frank, in that one, Bama was up 28-0 at the half, and Georgia came back and got the lead. I think we had it for about 17 seconds.
Right.
I don't know if something got exposed. I don't know if that game drained something. But you think about it, they've lost 5 games after that. It's been a borderline 500 football team. So to say the natives are restless, I've got some very close friends who are Bama fans. I've got friends who are in some of those house-divided things with Georgia and Alabama. And again, the standard is unbelievably high, but they are beyond upset and worried right now.
Yeah, I think this. I agree with you. I think DeBoer's a good coach. But I think what happens when you get caught, Jeff, when you get caught in mired in the narrative to where you can't escape it, it's almost like you're drowning. I watched Ron Zook go through it at Florida after Spurrier, right?
Yeah.
You're almost you're drowning in that thing. I don't know that he can pull his way out of that. And that doesn't mean he's not a good coach. But, I mean, there's so much noise. Would you be shocked if this is it, if this year is the last year? I would not be shocked if he's gone after this year. I hate to say that, but I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be stunned either. I mean, the one thing I would say when it comes to money, and I have a couple of go, oh, Bama's got plenty of money. Well, since that house settlement, it's a different animal.
Yeah.
So, a $48 million buyout or whatever it might be. Hey, $48 million just doesn't stretch as far as it used to, Frank, in the world of college athletics. I wouldn't be stunned either. And I think Ron Zook is a great example. And especially if you come in when you follow a legend of legends, which Steve Spurrier was, which Nick Saban was, any little thing that you go out there and try and do different, I think you're just saying, I'm going to put my own stamp on things. I think you're just opening up a door for criticism that is completely unnecessary. I mean, if it were me, if Kirby retires in 10 years and they lose their mind and hire me as the football coach, I've worn a golf shirt and a visor to every game for the last 35 years, so I wouldn't have to change my wardrobe too much. Right. But I'm doing everything. All right, what was our game plan? What was our signal for this defense? What was our signal for that offense? I'm keeping everything exactly the same. Now, you have to be your own man. You have to be your own person. But trying to change up anything when you're talking about following the guy, I just think you're opening an unnecessary door, my friend.
Jeff, I thought Tennessee, by the way, looked better I thought they looked better with Joey Aguilar than they ever looked with Nico. I just
100%.
He was better, wasn't he? He was better than Nico ever was. I was real impressed with the Vols.
I agree completely. And Tennessee is due some good karma for the way they handled that thing. Yeah. We've got friends in Knoxville, Frank, and you heard about the dad trying to drive these negotiations and all this stuff. And I mean, when you're talking about a guy, now you kind of look back on it. Obviously, Ohio State, they got hot at the right time, but you kind of look back on it and wonder, wow, I get it, Ohio State won the game, but were they that much better? And you hear some of the chatter that was going on with Nico, and they're just better off without it. I don't know, maybe they won't make the playoff again this year, but I think for the program, it allowed them to move forward. Hey, Fran Brown, Frank, as you know, he was on Kirby's staff here at Georgia for a couple of years, did an unbelievable job. I mean, he got Syracuse to 10-3 last year. Miami fans know how good he is, and Tennessee really dominated that game. So I think if LSU had the best win in the league, was Tennessee second?
Yeah, I absolutely. I thought they were very impressive. One of the team, then I'll let you bunch some together for me. You talked about coach of the state. I talked about coach of the state of Alabama on the hot seat, but there's another one, Hugh Freeze. They looked pretty good, didn't they? I thought. Yes. I thought Jackson Arnold, who wasn't very good at Oklahoma, was pretty good for Hugh Freeze at Baylor the other night, wasn't he?
He was, and maybe it was just the fit. You feel like Auburn's been building, and that this has got a chance to be the best team that they've had. I don't know, maybe since that 2017 team. It's still hard to look at that schedule to find 9 or 10 wins. But, Frank, they've got 2 relatively easy games coming up, and I can't remember the order. Then they're back-to-back against Oklahoma and Texas A&M. Again, I don't remember the order, but and both of those on the road. So, to me, if there was a team that was in a must-win spot just to get to 8-9 wins and just to keep the fan base optimistic, I absolutely thought it was Auburn. Because of their first 5 games, they've got 2 softies, the other 3 all on the road. I thought they had to have it, and I thought they played really well.
Final thing, Jeff, I'm going to lump a bunch together. Oklahoma, Florida, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, all 4 won kind of easily the other day. Of those teams, who jumps off the page for you? Who's maybe next in line in the league as you see it?
Well, I think Florida's really good. Frank, the Gators have always got players. So they had a guy drafted every year since, 1953? Right. And I think if Lagway is healthy, they got a chance to be really good. Now, their schedule's awfully tough. Ole Miss, so many new faces. I don't know. I'll tell you this, that quarterback Simmons, he came in when Georgia was in Oxford last year, led them right down the field when Jackson Dart got banged up. I think he's got a chance to be really good. With Texas A&M, the big question for me with the Aggies, they personify, as an old friend of mine from Toccoa, Georgia used to say, He said they got a big hat, but no cattle. All sizzle, no steak. They finished in the top 10 twice in the 21st century. They tried to buy their way into it. We'll see. And then Oklahoma, I think they're better. But, Frank, that schedule, when you were on with me on the Superstations, I said, hey, if you're OU, how does Texas get their schedule and we get ours?
Right. Great point. A very, very good point. It's going to be interesting to see. We'll track them all year long. Jeff Dancler is going to be with me every Tuesday at 5:15 talking SEC football, dogs, and a whole lot more. Great start to this thing, Jeff. We appreciate it, brother. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks, man.
Love you, my friend. You're the greatest.
All right, Jeff Dancler, we appreciate that. Man, he knows the SEC. He knows college football just like me. Watched it and followed it a long, long time, and it's going to be great having him on. And we thank our friends from Underwood Jewelers. Underwood has sponsored our SEC report for the longest time. Back in a moment. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Go! Your play-by-play home of Bulls Bulldogs football is 1010XL.
It's a battle of undefeated powerhouses. The Yellow Jackets bring the sting to the Bulldogs. St. Augustine Bulls. Friday at 7 on 1010 AM.
Frank Frangie here for South State Bank. South State has helped our businesses and charity grow and thrive. Whether you're expanding your operations, managing cash flow, or planning for the future, South State Bank offers forward-thinking, tailored solutions to meet your unique business needs. With expert guidance and best-in-class service, South State is here to help you move your business forward. Visit southstatebank.com or stop by your local branch today. Let South State become your partner in taking your business to the next level. That's South State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carline here to let you know about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. If you love eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching football, you'll love new Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. These are game changers. They're as delicious as a homemade dip made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. You've got to try them. Once you do, you'll be hooked. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip at a grocery store near you.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. The Everbank London Getaway Experience. One lucky winner and a guest get round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Jags play in London. Everbank.com/London for official rules. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Everbank London Getaway Sweeps entry period 7/28/25 to 9/5/25. Enter and get official rules and details at everbank.com/London.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Frank Frangie here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they're opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
Morgan Conley Roofing isn't just repairing roofs. He's building a legacy for generations to come. Born here, built here, staying here. MorganConleyRoofing.org. License number CCC 1333544.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Nimnick Tuesday on The Frangie Show. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941.
Here's what I'll tell you on a Tuesday afternoon on the First Coast. Thanks to our friends from Nimnick Chevrolet. I'm Cass at Nimnick Buick GMC. Man, those Nimnicks are fired up. I promise you they love them from football season. But here's what I'll tell you. JJ LaSelva from North Central Ocala. The Noles have East Texas A&M, which is sort of like Long Island U, I would imagine. Then Kent. Then they go up to play Virginia. No word whether or not the Ralph Sampson will be available for that game or not. But assuming he's not, I think I like the Noles.
Yeah. Should be undefeated going into Miami.
Noles are going to be undefeated when the Canes come call on October 4th.
I don't know if Miami will be.
Well,
they got Florida.
Which
huge game before that.
And maybe South Florida's tricky.
I'll wait to judge them until I see them play y'all.
And look, Florida Miami is sticky for the Canes, but but it's in Miami. It's a team
They'll be favored.
You rolled last year. You're a top 5-6 team, the top 5 now. I would think the Canes will be favored. You're right. Florida could beat Miami.
It won't be a huge line. But I would think Miami would be like 4.5 point favorite.
Florida could beat Miami. But assuming they don't, that could be undefeated. Oh, my goodness.
That could be the best FSU Miami game we've had.
Could be a throwback, man. Those games were
long time.
I will tell you.
When it really meant something.
And again, you were born too late to really appreciate it. I know you know the history. There was nothing from about 87 through 93. There was nothing like that game. As much as I love Florida, Tennessee, as much as I love the history of Florida, Georgia, as much as I love watching Alabama, Auburn, there was nothing like Canes and Noles in that late 80s, early 90s.
It decided so many national titles.
So many. I can tell you, off the top of my head, 87, 89, 91, 93, that's 4 in about a 6-year period.
And imagine how many Florida State would have had.
Yes.
Like this era or even the era with 4 playoff teams, Florida State would have probably won another 2.
6.
Yeah.
But man, when you just one loss and you're out, that game meant everything back then.
And again, everyone knows the wide rights. We all talk about the wide rights. Well, think about that. Florida State missed 2 makeable field goals that changed the world. Mm-hmm. Miami won the national title in 91 and lost and played in the national title game in 92 and lost that game to Alabama. But that's 2 games that the winner of those wide rights played for or won a national championship.
And what's crazy is in 2000, the wide right 3, Miami beating Florida State should have put them in the national title too. It didn't.
I agree. But I can tell you
another massive one in that series.
So wide right 1 and wide right 2 was 91 and 92. Mm-hmm. So in 93, and I didn't see either game because I was on the Gator beat. In 93, I had left to go into radio. So March of 93, I left the Times Union, went to radio so I could cover all the big games, whether it's the Gators or not. And so in 93, I was at the Florida State-Miami game. Florida State won 28-10. And I remember thinking that might be they've ultimately purged the wide rights by winning that. And then they won the national championship. They beat, they lost to Notre Dame, but they won the national title by beating Nebraska. And then I was also at the game 94 game when Miami came back and won again. Frank Costa was the quarterback then. So, but I'm telling you, from 87 through 93, Hayes, it was as good a college football rivalry as there's been in terms of quality of play. And to JJ's point a moment ago, stakes on the line, as there's been in the history of college football.
It's also one of the few rivalries because of that great history and heritage, where yes, there's hatred, but there's every bit as much respect.
There was,
as there is hatred.
Yeah.
And which is not, common in a rivalry. It's usually just pure hate. But it speaks to the level of talent on both sides, and it was honestly, it was certainly the game I looked forward to the most. There was not a Florida game.
Agreed.
If they're able to meet undefeated in a month, it will do worlds for the ACC. And there's a chance that, look, I don't think you can't write off Clemson losing at home to an LSU team that might go on to win the national title. But Klubnik didn't look good. And maybe are we finally going to get not just one, but 2 FSU Miami contests this year? Could they meet for the ACC title? I absolutely think they could.
I didn't think about it either, but it's a great call. And I'm pulling up. We've already pulled up the FSU schedule. I'm pulling up the Miami schedule right now. JJ probably knows it by heart. I don't.
Miami and Clemson do not play.
I did not know
Miami
that.
plays SMU. The SMU, I guess, would be the only other team in the ACC you'd think could have a chance.
And Florida State, they do play Clemson, and they play Miami, but it's pretty favorable outside of that. They don't get some of those tricky, like Louisville's or...
I'll tell you this. If Miami is what it looked like the other night, if that's real, and it certainly seemed like it is, they could lose to Florida, but you wouldn't think they're going to, but they could. They play at Florida State, and if FSU's as good as they were the other night, that's going to be a war because it's on the road. If Miami's what they looked like the other night, there's not another loss on that schedule. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. The road trip is SMU. Look, I'm sorry. I know I'm sorry.
Put me down for the Canes.
Yeah, Eric Dickerson's gone. Okay, right. I just sorry.
I certainly don't expect them to have 2 years in a row like they, as powerful as that offense was last year.
Then they're at Virginia Tech. Well, I thought South Carolina was clearly better than them, and it took a while to pull away, but I thought they were clearly the better team. They're at Pitt again. Dan Marino's gone. Okay, right. I mean, I don't see. I'm trying.
But it's the Miami way to lose those games at the end of the season.
And I get it.
That's just what they've been doing.
And I get it.
But
the path looks great.
Yes.
And they may not take advantage of it.
Yeah,
but the path looks great.
This team looks different to me. And not just because everybody knows they were bad defensively last year. It's not just that. It's one game.
It's the O-line and the D-line.
They're
back to what Miami should be on those ends of the field.
Those look like 2 NFL teams.
Hell yeah.
That game looked like 2 NFL. They played like NFL teams. The quarterbacks played like NFL quarterbacks. It felt like an NFL game where who hits the hardest. Somebody was going to beat somebody 20-something to not quite 20-something or 17. It was going to be that kind of game. It had that feel. It was 27-24. That was an NFL game. LSU Clemson was an NFL game.
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah, those were NFL games. Those were physical, tough. No one was beating anybody 59-45. It wasn't that kind of game. And it was Are
you worried about Clemson at all?
Worried about in what sense?
Well, worried about the fact that they're lost a home game.
Oh,
and they were outscored 14-0 in the second half.
Yeah. When you say worried about it, am I starting to doubt them? Is what you're asking? Yes. Yeah. I never liked them. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I picked them Friday to try and get a game picker upper. I didn't think they were winning that game. That's easy to say. I mean, but I'm being honest with you. I picked LSU the whole offseason. I told Matt Moscona I'd be shocked if Clemson beat LSU. So
their defense looks great.
Yeah, they have a lot of good. They have
their
offense.
I'm not a Klubnik guy.
I'm not either. And I'm not
very average.
That
pick was bad. That interception he threw was terrible.
I think Clemson's good. I think Clemson has a good team. I mean, they have a top 10, top 12 team. Do I think they have an elite team? I don't. I don't. I think Texas and Ohio State both have elite teams. I know it was a gross game. I know it was gross to watch.
Yeah, Texas's defense is incredible.
Yeah, but they have those two. That's 2 good teams.
Yeah. And they'll get better.
And Arch Manning will probably.
We've seen Klubnik for 4 years.
Yeah, correct. So I don't. So it'll be interesting to see. So all right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll tell you where the show's been. We'll wrap the program. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ohio State and Penn State, 2 Big Ten foes, are now the betting favorites to win the College Football National Championship after Week 1. The Buckeyes upsetting preseason number 1 Texas at home in Columbus. Both the Buckeyes and the Nittany Lions are plus 600 to claim the title. The Georgia Bulldogs and the Texas Longhorns are both at plus 750. LSU, after a road win against Clemson, is plus 900, while Clemson is at plus 1,300 to win the title. Alabama, who lost on the road at Florida State, plus 1,400. Oregon also plus 1,400. And Notre Dame, who lost at Miami, is plus 1,600. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Jacksonville is football season, and Duck Duck Rooter is proud to be on your home team. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, we tackle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning problems with championship-level service. Keep an eye out for our custom Jaguar wrap plumbing vans rolling around town. They're hard to miss and always ready for the next play at your home or business. With thousands of 5-star Google reviews and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida, trust Duck Duck Rooter to keep you in the game. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter, when you're stuck, call the Duck.
The best place to get trucks is Nimnick Chevrolet, but did you know Nimnick Chevrolet is way more than just trucks? While most dealerships are running low, Nimnick has the largest inventory of new Chevy SUVs in town right on their lot. With low promotional rates, now is the time to save big on the most popular Chevy SUVs like the all-new redesigned Equinox. Plus, with cash incentives and Nimnick savings, you'll save thousands only at Nimnick. If you're looking for better fuel economy or just need a little more room for your growing family, Nimnick Chevrolet's wide range of models ready to drive means you'll find exactly what you're looking for at Nimnick. So head to Nimnick today. Of course, it's the best place for trucks. When you go to Nimnick, it's way more than trucks. It's great SUVs as well. So hit the Nimnick today. Where's the best place to get cars, trucks, and SUVs? Nobody but Nimnick.
The Money Pages brings you the Red Zone featured player of the week. Number 1, Jaguars running back Travis Etienne Jr. Travis played college ball for the Clemson Tigers and was drafted by the Jags in the first round in 2021. Pick up this week's Jags game program with a commemorative ticket of Travis Etienne inside. Download the Money Pages app for weekly specials. Money Pages, official sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah & Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Jacksonville.
Joe C for Preferred Roofing, reminding you your roof is more than just felt and shingles. It's a system that not only keeps your home dry, but also impacts your heating and cooling bills. Preferred Roofing and Construction is a GAF Master Elite Roofing Contractor lauded for having the ability to educate and inform homeowners on their options. Why GAF and Preferred Roofing? They're veteran-owned and operated with ties to Duval for decades. A family business ready to make sure your family has a good roof over its head. Log on, preferredroofingjax.com.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, the wings are fresh, the drinks are cold, and the game is always on. With 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, and handcrafted cocktails, there's no better place to kick back and catch every play. Escape the ordinary. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. If you have a school, team, or group that would benefit from a team store, you're in luck because we now offer team stores. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
It's been a good show today. Thanks to our friends from Nimnick. We talked all about a crazy good college football weekend. The Noles looked so good. So did the Canes. The Gators looked very good. Hard to tell because they played a team that was much worse. But certainly it was good. We noticed a few things with Florida, which I enjoyed. We talked about that. Jeff Dancler stopped by. Our SEC report will be every Tuesday at 5:15. I certainly look forward to that. Hayes did a good job with his top 25 rundown, or rewind, I should say, as we look back at some of the games that happened over the weekend. And we talked some Jaguars football, which is right around the corner. And that's where the show's been today. 5 days from now, it'll be Sunday. Hope the weather's nice. The Carolina Panthers come calling, and all that talk about Tony Baselli and James Gladstone and Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence in year 5 and Travis Hunter and how is he going to, what side of the ball is he playing on the most? We get to all those questions, all the vibe, all the narrative. It finally plays out for real at 1 o'clock on Sunday. That's really exciting.
Really exciting, and can't wait. I think it's going to be a really good opener. I think the Jaguars are going to get it done. I think Liam Cohen is going to be a step ahead of Carolina like he was last year as Tampa Bay's OC. And unless the Jaguars defensively just melt down, which I'm not anticipating against what Carolina will throw at them, I think the game sets up very well for the Jaguars.
By the way, let me just tell you, speaking of the Jaguars, tonight is the night. It's going on right now, so you've still got time to get over there. You got till 7 o'clock. Jordan Lewis is signing autographs at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Just named a captain, one of the most important defensive players, and you will still have time to get to Showtime till 7 o'clock tonight. Showtime right there in Phillips Highway. It's already packed, I'm told, so a lot of people are getting those autographs already, but you can too. Go get a Jordan Lewis autograph right now at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Right there on Phillips Highway at the end of Shad Road. So head on over there. You'll be awfully glad you did. Go get yourself a Jordan Lewis autograph. I got it's going to be a very important part of that defense. So there's 2 OR. They released the depth chart today, 2 ORs. Bigsby or Etienne, Devin Lloyd or at running back, Devin Lloyd or Ventrell Miller at weak side linebacker. Who gets to start in those 2?
I'm going to say it'll be Etienne and Miller. I think it could certainly change for week 2. I think it's so close that it's really going to just, I think, depend somewhat on the opponent and what you're most worried about. But I will say Ventrell Miller gets the nod over Devin Lloyd. I just don't think they want to tell Devin Lloyd for whatever reason. But so I think they've kept it as a, or the whole time. But I'll say Ventrell, and then I'll say Etienne, but it's 50.1% against 49.9%. I mean, they've been close. It's just different skill sets. So I would expect that they both get a lot of work. I'm still we'll talk to Liam obviously tomorrow. He'll meet with media, and I'm curious to see if he'll tell us who's going to be the back that's down.
Yeah, I think it'll be Etienne and Etienne. I think they go back and forth all year. I think Ventrell Miller's going to win that job. I feel more confident that we'll see what happens. Let's say hello to Rick Below.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
How shocked were you? I was shocked.
For what? The Jaguars depth chart? You talking about ETN or Tank?
I was shocked. I didn't think Alabama was beating them 53-10. I was FSU gutted them.
Did you miss my pick in my change on Friday?
I must have.
I had Florida State 31-17 over Bama. I reversed the line.
Yeah. What a performance!
It was since I was a student there, and now the 34 years that I've done this is the first time in my life, and it's not even close, that I was 100% convinced that they were going to lose, and they won.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, last year at this time, I picked them to beat Georgia Tech.
But I know what you mean. Yeah. This is different.
Right. There's been games against Florida, Miami, where they were maybe a 3-point dog or whatever, and I picked them to lose, and maybe they won. But there's never been anything even remotely close to what happened.
I'll say this. I said this on the air. I want to get your thoughts on it. The one thing we probably lost sight of is he's obviously really good in the portal. I mean, Braden Fisk and Jared Verse and Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson and Trey Benson, they didn't just randomly show up there. No. He went and got, he went and got those guys. So he's obviously good at that. Well, it looks like he did it again. And they look, I'm shocked, Rick. They're good. I mean, like legitimately good.
Well, and, I pounded Thomas Castellanos. I still can't believe he came out and said what he said in July and then doubled down on it. And then
backed it up, bro.
He backed it up with his play. I mean, the guy looked like you know, I don't even know what to say. I'm tongue-tied, which is scary. For the first time in my life. Look at that Kyler Murray out there for crying out loud.
I know it. He did.
He was doing basically whatever he wants.
By the way, that is who he looked like. That's because he's about built the same. So are they that good? Are they as good as they look?
I think it's fluid. I think you got to take it week by week. I mean, they basically have a preseason now for the next couple of weeks. You have a bye. You have 2 total cupcakes where you hope to build some depth and get better. Then you have that Friday night tilt at Virginia, and then it's Miami. So, you know, you're still going to find out, but I mean, I just am so happy for Florida State fans. I mean, ever since the snub and the game against Georgia, and then last year, I mean, it was absolutely ruthless for Florida State fans. So at least for the time being, they can sit back and really enjoy what happened against Bama.
I agree. All right, what's coming up tonight?
All of that coming up, everything that happened in college football, and as well, it's Jaguars Panthers week. I was reading some Panthers material today. They think they go 1-0. They think they come down here and grab a victory. Okay. So, I mean, again, this is just the game that Carolina thinks they're going to win. So, it's going to be a great week as far as that's concerned.
All right, Rick Beluga's End of the Night comes up right now. We'll be back tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.